everyone, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon. So, last episode, it's kinda a little bit of a calmer episode, right? Shiki and CL had their moment, just as Arcuade and Shiki had their moment on her route, and it was nice and it was sweet. As for Arcuade herself, she's moving now. We'll see what happens, right? So anyways, let us continue. Day 14. Stone Unyielding. Very, very long route, man. Like double the length of Arcuade's route by now, I think. Even now, I hold them fast in my heart. These worthless memoirs of a self I no longer call my own. The dying screams of the man I used to be. Before I embarked upon this voyage through infinity. Did my goals change along the way? No, my destination remains the same. I gaze upon eternity. Never once seeking or expecting a reward. Mine was a noble desire in its purest form. But other things have changed. I have changed. My understanding of eternity and my means of realizing it have changed. Once I sought to witness perfection, now I seek only time to attain completion for myself. My own baseness disgusts me, but my heart is set. It's all her fault. That woman, she robbed me of my purity. Humans are too feeble to live 1,000 years. Neither our bodies nor our minds can bear the weight. A vampiric constitution may strengthen the body, but it cannot allay the degradation of the mind. Mental maturation may be forestalled, but the price is a stasis. An unchanging mind thinking unchanging thoughts, a worldview detached from the march of progress. I can discern no value in such existence. Human weakness obliges them to constantly adapt. If I am to be one of them, I must retain the same purity. Why? Because anything less would render my efforts moot. I must witness the conclusion to the human story. Not as a reader, but as a character with a part to play. Anything less would leave her forever out of reach. No, my decision is made. Reincarnation is the way. I will start over from nothing, becoming myself anew and die. In submitting to this cycle, I can preserve the purity of myself. My eternity will be no perpetuation of my ego, but the trail left in my wake as I drift upon the tides of time. Such was the final act of resistance of my old self, in the face of the man he had become. Or so it should have been. While my logic remained sound throughout the ages, I myself was not so steadfast. During one of the many stops in my voyage for eternity, I lost sight of my vision. I began to pursue eternity for my own sake, like any common dead apostle. Roa the visionary could not have imagined the degradation that would wreak. All I knew was that for the first time I felt hatred. I would never have known this disappointment, this disgrace, had it not been for her. So, Arc 8 episode today?
あの女
I feel as though I'm being hoisted up from the ocean. I awaken to eyeball popping pressure, and a voice uncompromising like an immovable boulder. It's a new day. The clock tells me it's midnight. I must have slept over 12 hours, like a fossil.
今の声は
I've never heard that voice before. I've never seen that sight in my life. But I can hazard a guess what, or rather, whom I was looking at. My head feels like it's being bludgeoned. It brings to mind those hammers used to crush crab shells. A tool for pulverizing organic matter, even if it's no longer living. Picturing someone merely cracking open crabs, I can't help but think that out of all the world's predators, humans surely enjoy the most luxury.
待ってくれ死ぬそれはさすがに
This pain is going to crush the life out of me before Roa can even take over. Why is he throwing such a tantrum? He needs this body intact as much as I do. If he wants to inhabit it, all he'll accomplish by turning my skull to pulp is killing us both. Is his hatred for her strong enough to bind him? Another hammer strike knocks me to the floor, but no concussion comes. These blows are not coming from the outside, but from within. My body spasms all over. Motor signals misfire up and down my brainstem. Lying on the floor, I throw up the contents of my stomach, and when there's nothing left to vomit, I start to cough up blood. Cut it out, or my head's gonna split apart. I can feel my skull cracking. My limbs twitch violently, like a dog with an electrode jammed into its brain. I can feel my skull anymore. It's like the top of my head has been sewed off, exposing my brain to the open air. But even then... Even then, my headache won't go away. In a desperate attempt at reprieve, I bash the source of my pain against the table. Fortunately, the table is made of glass, so it shatters rather than my cranium. Not that it would have made a difference if it were solid wood. What I just used for a hammer is the hardest part of a human body. Anything less than a bone saw or a laser scalpel won't leave a scratch. Blood trickles down my forehead. I don't feel a thing, of course. Not when the mallet bludgeoning my head is 1,000 times worse. I can't take this much longer, but I can't let myself pass out. How many minutes, how many seconds are passing between the flashes of pain? This is unbearable. I stab my knife through my hand to distract myself, but it does nothing. It barely tickles. Wait, I've got it. The lines. The lines must be doing this. If I can just put my glasses on and then... No, don't laugh. If I start laughing, I'll never stop. But how can I not? This is a ride. I'm totally screwed. CL hasn't come back yet. It hasn't even been 10 minutes since I woke up. Is this happening because it's nighttime? There's still over 6 hours until dawn. The thought alone almost drives me crazy. My breaking point came and went a long time ago. If I have to endure any more of this, I'll be cold and dead by the time CL gets back. I have to find my own way out. My own way out. My own way out. The solution is obvious. Only one factor could be causing this. My headaches were never this bad in my own bedroom. I mean, didn't you destroy your own room? So it must be this apartment that's to blame. This headache is from being cooped in here. I have to get out or I'll really lose it. Someone warned me against doing this very thing. I'm aware of the danger. Maybe this headache is trying to lure me into a trap. Maybe it isn't. Either way, once I'm outside, I'll have nowhere left to go. But outside is still away from here. If I leave, I can buy myself a few more hours. If I stay, I won't even have that long.
ダメだって言ってるのに。
My legs tremble as I approach the door. My gasping breaths carry no trace of human warmth. I feel no thirst, no lust. My mind is shrouded in fog. Yet one idle impulse remains. An inexplicable urge to gaze upon the golden moon. The world warps around me. But man, yeah, like being alone in that place or being alone and then having this kind of thoughts, I'd say every single time. Yeah, you literally lose your mind, man. My vision worsens by the second. The city is bare of any sign of life. Spiderwebs drape from building to building, swaddling the world in a great cocoon. White fog hangs over the midnight streets, making of them the ruins of a long dead empire. These visions and more torment me as I walk on. A golden moon shines above me, more brilliant than ever. Its light must be a blessing. My headache has disappeared entirely, leaving my mind tranquil as the ocean floor. And so I arrive at my destination. As though drawn by fate or perhaps compelled. Not that it matters one way or another. The stone plaza shimmers as silver in the moonlight. In a world where all is an uncertain haze, all I can make out is her beautiful shadow. With a gulp, I drag myself back to reality. And there she is. The vampire princess. The city sets, leaving us alone in the world, beneath a moon as dazzling as the midday sun.
こんばんは。私の素敵な殺人鬼さん。こうして会うのは久しぶりね。
There she stands, as I've seen her in my dreams. Arcuade, princess of the vampires. At first, I wonder if it's a trick of my framing or fraying insanity. But no, though Arcuade looks the same as ever, something about her demeanor has changed. She has neither the regal bearing from Roa's memories, nor the carefree innocence I recall from my own. Now she stands somewhere in between.
アルクエイド、お前帰ったんじゃなかったのか。
あら、どうしてそう思うの？私、自分からこの町を去ると告げたかしら。
I mean, she did not show herself like for a couple of days, and that's why. She smiles knowingly. Her manner is both beautiful and terrifying. She is at once a graceful maiden plucking flower petals, and a cruel child ripping out a butterfly's wings. Even now, my first instinct is to run to her and pick up where we left off. I never meant to fall out with her, especially not to the point that we'd stop speaking. Yet something tells me to keep my distance. All my senses are screaming at me in alarm. The only reason she's still here is to find Roa. Ergo, if she learns that I'm Roa's host, she'll have every reason to want to kill me.
ロアはもう死んだって言ったのはお前だろ。死者の後始末だって先輩がやってくれるんだし、お前がこの町に残る理由はもうないんじゃないか。
I keep my tone flat, trying to hide my fear. I'm only repeating what she said to me before. Surely she'll be convinced by her own words.
ええ、棺にいたロアは殺したわ。でもロアそのものは殺していない。私には魂を殺す手段はないってシキも知っているでしょ。
そうだったな。次の転生を待つしかないんだっけ。
その事情が変わったの。運がいいことに10年以上も待つ必要はなくなった。だってロアは依然私の目の前にいるんだもの。
Silence falls. Arcuate's crimson eyes turn savagely on me. Honestly, what is she gonna do though? Yeah, I don't think she's gonna do anything to Shiki because she likes Shiki even though he's like this. My lungs freeze. Goosebumps ripple across my skin. Before such deeply alien presence, my reality starts to unravel. I can't breathe. My throat is paralyzed. Every last instinct screams that if I move so much as a muscle, my head will roll. While I was still human, I had the luxury of ignorance, but not anymore. My vampiric senses leave me in no doubt of the danger I'm in. I can't beat her. I can't even flee. We may be both vampires, but that's where the similarities end. I might as well be an ant trying to take down an elephant.
バカなシキ。あんな女に肩入れしなければそんな目に遭わなかったのにね。
For whatever reason, she doesn't move for now. Is it because she knows she could dispatch me at any time? No, she's watching me for something.
そんな目ってなんだよ。毎日充実してるぞ俺。
物は言いようね。信じた人間に殺されかけたり、吸血鬼になった女に殺されかけたりしたのが充実。そんなことでいいのなら私も混ざればよかったかな。私を裏切ったシキのためにもっと残酷な遊びを考えてあげたのに。
So that's why she's so upset. I mean, or I must really have hurt her by siding with CL. I should have realized, but it's too late for that. I had no way of knowing at the time, but now I'm all too aware. Arcoid and CL are fundamentally opposed. Their difference can never be reconciled.
まあいいわ。シエルの話はしないであげる。今はもっと聞きたいことがあるんだし。それでどうなのシキ。自分の中にロアがいる感想は。あの時みたいにやっぱり私を殺したくてたまらない。
I'm thrown into a momentary freefall. For all I know, the world really did just shudder. With a smile of a girl picking a flower from the heavens, she rounds on me with indescribable hostility. I see it clearly now. Arcoid has come to kill me, that's why she's here. They're just shy of 7 meters between us. 7 meters where even 100 wouldn't be enough.
あのな、何度も言うけど人を殺人鬼扱いするな。俺がおかしくなるのはお前に対してだけだ。殺せるか殺せないかなんていつだって考えてる。
What a weird thing to say. Why am I agreeing with her, or is that truly how I feel?
相変わらずおかしな人ね。殺人鬼じゃないって言い張るのに私だけは特別なの？
うるさい！黙ってろ吸血鬼！大体な、嘘つきなのはそっちだろ。お前最初から知ってたんだろ。地下にいたロアを殺した後、ロアが俺に転移したことを。
ええ、もちろん。ロアは私が使徒にしたやつだもの。奪われた自分の力がどこで脈づいているかなんて簡単に感じ取れる。覚えてる？シキが私に協力すると言ってくれた夜、死者の食堂を壊した後のこと。
Right. Actually, that was when my headache started. Roa must have reacted badly to me opening up to Arcoid.
そうかよ。じゃああれか。死者狩りは物のついでで、本命は俺の監視だったのか。
ああ、そっか。そういうことになるのね、式から見ると。観察って意味じゃ合ってるからそれでいいか。いろいろな意味であなたは希少だったから。ロアはここに来て法則を変えた。次の時代に移るのではなく、この時代にとどまって永続しようとした。今まで何回も繰り返してきたパターンを放棄したのよ。それが罠かどうか見極める時間も欲しかった。
Her crimson eyes are unrelenting. I can feel my headache returning under their gaze. Sparks of pain bursting inside my head. a sign that Roa is steering.
疑問はあるわ。どうしてロアはあなたに転移したのか。あなたはどうしてそんなことが可能な体なのか。でももう気にするのはやめることにしたの。だって殺してしまえば結果は同じでしょ。
The pain is sickening. Roa's memories writhe inside my skull every time Wade speaks his name. A faraway memory surfaces. A starry abyss uncharted by human hands. A mountaintop castle aglow with lunar flowers. An inner sea, the highest and deepest in all the world. And a woman kept prisoner in its heart. A sight seared into the soul of a man reduced to a memory. I envy him, for this glimpse of eternity is his alone, kept in ignorance of her own meaning as a true ancestor. She is charged to hunt her fallen kin. She knows nothing of language, of mortality, of time. Above a great canopy obscures the cosmos. Below the moonlit flowers pale before her radiance, and he thought her beautiful. For the first time in his life, and the last no doubt until his dying day, Michael Roa Valdemjong, how do you say it, Valdemjong, fell in love. Try as I might, there's no denying it, this is Roa's last remaining human emotion. All other shreds of his former self are indecipherable, rewritten beyond recognition over countless years and countless lives. But a single scorched moment lies untouched amid the cinders, a memory whose brilliance no number of lifetimes can dim. A comically simple answer to life's mysteries that turned a theologian's world upside down. Now I see. That was why he hated Wade so viciously. He had no choice. She stole his innocence. A single glimpse of her overturned his every conviction. That moonlit flower embodied the futility of his grand thesis. What else could he do but despise his very being? His life's work slipped through his fingers like sand. All he could do was curse his own foolish weakness, to protest how easily his dream was usurped. His pride and zeal left him no choice but enmity. He made of her a nemesis whom he might defeat and debase, and in doing, regain his former self. As a man of God, his path was sound, but as a human, it was fatally mistaken. The man who once sought the most powerful true ancestor in order to become immortal, in the end became immortal in order to bring the most powerful true ancestor to her knees. Roa stole Wade away while she remained ignorant of her own vampirism, then coerced her into drinking his blood to bind her soul to his. Okay. With this single act, all the powers of a vampire became his to command, while for her moment of weakness, Wade lost her mind and slaughtered her fellow true ancestors. It was for that purpose that he pushed Wade to the brink, attained immortality through transmigration and ceded his lifespan to her control. How could he have been so blind? He thought it was loading that compelled him to wait for Arcuade lifetime after lifetime. No loading could accomplish that. In all his years devoted to dissecting the human experience, he learned nothing of the human heart. What was it that he felt for her so strongly that it drove him to alter this course? It may resemble hatred, but a hatred could never beget such fate. Above all else, Aroa had faith in Arcuade. Faith that she would follow him, deny him, and kill him, time after time, and so lead him to eternity. He knew the destination was a fantasy, yet embarked upon his voyage nonetheless. And so he forged onwards into infinity. He cast his soul adrift on the tides of time, knowing its journey would outlast the man who began it. Such is the ending for Michael Roa chose. A little end for a little man who never learned that what drove him was called love. In an instant, or perhaps a lifetime, the last testament of the man who sought infinity through reincarnation, the man at the root of all this tragedy, passes before my eyes. Arcuade watches on wordlessly. She still emanates hostility, bristles with bloodlust, but she allows me time to recover from this reverie. For a brief moment, the idea that this all might be some kind of sick joke crosses my mind.
余裕ね。考える時間をあげたのに、そんな無駄なことに使うなんて。逃げる算段はしないの？それともとっくに観念して、私に首を差し出すつもりなの？シキ。
だよな。
Yeah, there's no way I'm lucky enough for it to be that easy. I'm a vampire now, and Arcuade doesn't mess around when it comes to her fellow vampires.
どっちもありえない話だ。俺はロアなんて奴には負けない。吸血鬼にもならない。明日になればきっと。
I'm sure CL will come back with an answer. My job is to survive until then. I can't let Arcuade kill me here.
やっぱり、シキはそうでなくちゃ。あなたはどんな時でも強がりを言っていた。自分の状態を把握した上で、できもしないことを達成するために、本気で自分の命を使っていた。うん。だから私も確信していたわ。あなたは簡単にロアにはならない。塔の指揮という意志が残っているうちは、最後まであなたのままなんだって。
Arcuade's voice is almost cheerful. She exudes danger, but there's no animosity in it. Perhaps she's just decided to kill me at her leisure, but it seems more like she's genuinely enjoying our conversation. Come to think of it, this park means a lot to us. We used to meet up here, swore to work together here. Neither of us wants to sully those memories. That's one line we've yet to cross. In which case, there may still be room for a peaceful resolution. If I can somehow convince Arkaway to back down, I might have half a chance of making it until morning.
そりゃありがたい。そこまで信じてるんならもう放っておいてくれ。ロアとは俺がきっちり型をつける。結果はどうなるにしろ必ず息の根を止めて転生を終わらせてやる。俺たちならそれができるんだ。だからお前はこのまま。
帰れっていうのなら聞かないわ。シキが当てにしているのは教会の連中でしょ。あいつらにロアを封印されるのはお断りよ。ロアを処分するのは自分の力を取り戻すためでもある。だからね、ロアを内包した人間は私の手で始末をつけないと意味がないわ。
バカ、それだって意味がないぞ。ロアの転生体を殺したところで奴は生き続ける。お前が奴に与えちまった血だって戻らな。
私が与えた血が何？
My words stop dead in my throat. Every muscle in my body tenses. It's like my consciousness has been forcibly ejected from my body and wrested out of my control. Death just breathed down my neck. I came very close to pressing Arkaway's berserk button.
ロアに取られた力だって戻らないだろう。
全部はね。でも封印と転生は別よ。今封印されたら力を横取りされたままだけど、殺して転生させてしまえばロアは私から力を引き出さない。人間だって自分の小指を他人に使われたら嫌でしょ。それと同じよ。
I get it now. Killing me won't sever Arkaway and Roa's connection, but it would render it inert at least for the time he spends gestating inside his new host. That's why she has to wait until he awakens before seeking him out, and why she keeps killing him in the absence of a more permanent solution. And I am no exception. Every moment she leaves Roa's host alive is another moment Roa can use her power as his own. Killing them won't solve the root of the problem, but it's better than allowing Roa free reign.
そうかよ。それじゃどうしても。
I'm a dead man walking.
でもね、シキ。あなたの中にいるロアの波動は弱々しいわ。きっとあいつは胎児から始めないと、その人間になり変われない。私に転生体を潰されて、なんとかあなたの中に転移したのはいいけど、それが限界。
完全には上書きされない。あれ？
ええ。ロアの純度はますます下がるでしょう。それなら殺すまでもない。私はロアに奪われた力が私の下で動けばそれでいいんだから。
So no matter what happens, Roa cannot really take over Shiki. It's just like fusing his mind with him. That's why, yeah, I think we see Shiki like breaking because his head. It's Roa is trying to fuse with that. She doesn't need to kill Roa, but then why is she here? And why is she staring at me with such apprehension?
わからないな。何が言いたいんだ、アルクエイド。
あなたに私のしもべになれと言っているのよ。
My brain goes blank and my lungs freeze for once. Not because she's intimidating me. She really means it. I can feel the weight of what she's asking. So if Shiki says no, what is she gonna do? Hanging behind every single word. I grit my teeth, bite back the tears welling in my eyes. It's over. What's been said can't be unsaid. Any chance of reconciliation died with those words. The friendship we shared is gone, never to return. All I can do now is accept the loss.
私、本気だから。返事を聞かせて。
I hear something unthinkable in her voice. She's nervous. My worst headache yet explodes beyond my eyes. Inside me, Roa rails against Arcuade's request. Whether his anger is born of disappointment with her own envy of me, I can't tell.
私のしもべになるのなら、ロアの侵食は止めてあげる。それで今までの塔の式の生活はおしまい。これからは夜の世界に生きるものになるけど、あなたのあり方は維持されるわ。そのままじゃあなたは大なり小なり自分が失われるんだから、考えるまでもないと思うけど。
簡単に言ってくれるな。どうやってロアを抑え込むって言うんだよ、お前は。
あら、ロアを止められるのはあなただけよ、シキ。けどその方法ではシキ自身も死んでしまう。だから私の方法はシキ自身を強くするだけ。あなたがロアより強い心を持てば、ロアがどう暴れようと関係ないでしょ。
Another hammer blow strikes my head. Roa is thrashing about inside my brain. Do not let her fool you, he screams. She will turn you into her plaything. I heave a deep breath. I don't believe Roa for a second, but right now Arcuade might be just as much of a threat. She seems unbalanced. Anything she suggests is unlikely to be reasonable by human standards. She says she'll make me strong enough to resist Roa's influence, but what if that means numbing me to everything else too? I take off my glasses. With my other hand, I draw my knife from my pocket. I pop out the blade and raise it in front of my face.
シキ。
お断りだ。俺はお前のものになんかならない。
そっか。仕方ないな。なら力つくね。
Her boots clack on the stone pavement.
あなたには殺されたこともあるし。一度お返しをしてあげなくっちゃって思ってたんだ。
Her pale figure surges towards me with a burst of wind. I don't have a second to hesitate to think through my options. By the time my brain catches up, I'm battling for my life against the one person I never wanted to fight. Sparks flies as my knife clashes against Arcuade's claws. Instinct is all that saves me from death as her beautiful form surges forward beneath the golden moon. Against our weapons, or again our weapons glance off each other. I can't even follow her movement. Again. I don't sense any lethal intent behind her blows, but she doesn't need to tear me limb from limb. Again, my body moves of its own accord, my mind might as well be blank. I'm like a robot, mindlessly deflecting Arcuade's strike in pursuit of my prime directive, survival. My lips curl into a sardonic smile. Repulsive as it is, I must be mostly vampire already. Practically unkillable while the sun is down, with physical abilities no human could match. I'm starting to see what Noelle found so appealing. This dizzying freedom would loosen anyone's attachment to their human morals and values. But it's not enough. Even freed from the constraint of thinking, my body can't keep up with Arcuade's frenzied assault. My only real weapon, my eyes, can't help me here. I can't hurt Arcuade when she has no lines of death. It's like she's once told me, as long as the moon is high, the very concept of death doesn't exist for her. My knife is brushed aside. I can't quite avoid the blow bearing down on my shoulder. Fortunately, Arcuade hits me with her palm, not her claws, but that's the smallest of mercies. The impact still launches me high into the air. With an ungainly landing, I ready my knife once more. My back is to the wall here, but I still can't see my way out. No matter how hard I squint, I can't make out any lines of death. My throat is burning. My heart is on the verge of exploding. Only now do I realize that, struck with terror by Arcuade's crimson eyes, I've been drawing shallow breaths ever since I've arrived.
どう？少しは目が覚めた？
By contrast, she isn't even out of breath. Pretty insensitive while I'm shutting down from oxygen deprivation over here.
本当に強情ね。それだけの強さがあるんなら、さっさとロアを殺してしまえばよかったのに。
何言ってるんだ、お前。
My chest heaves as I finally drink in air. Apparently even vampires need oxygen to make use of their blood reserves. I had no idea.
いいか、自分の手でロアを殺すってことはあれだ。要は自殺するってことだ。
It would be like sticking a knife into my own heart. If I were to do that, Roa would probably die. And both Arcuade and CL would be free of his shadow. But there's no way of knowing what that would do to me. I'm not even sure if I can see my own lines of death. Or whether I would be capable of cutting them. But more to the point,
それができればとっくにやってる。死にたくないから、生き物として弱いから、俺はこんなところまで来ちまったんだろう。
I hiss with irritation as I finally catch my breath. That's strong, huh? How strong would that be? I suppose sacrificing one's own life as an act of resistance takes strength of a sort, regardless of morality of it all.
そんな強さは願い下げだよ。悪いけど、そう簡単にお前の思い通りには。
呆れた。そこまで吸血鬼の体になっているのに、まだ人間の基準から抜け出せていないなんて。でもまあ、しょうがないか。人間は停止したら治らないんだもの。そう簡単に考えは変わらないわよね。
Arcuade's voice is tinged with disappointment and pity. It doesn't feel like she's trying to mock or provoke me. Rather, it sounds like she's trying to point out something important that I've missed.
あなたがその目をもう一段階深く理解すれば、魂だけを仕留めることだってできる。魂を失った肉体は存在指針をなくして停止してしまうけど、それはあくまで二次的な結果。吸血鬼であれば、肉体は生きてさえいれば蘇生する。あとはどちらの魂が生き残るか。一人分の死の点と二重になっている魂。なら、死に絶えるのは意志が弱い方だと思わない？
待て。ちょっと待って。それはどういう。
ダメ。待ったげない。
Arcuade darts forward like a thunderbolt. I still can't keep pace with her physically, but I've gotten a feel for her speed. Though I know it will be in vain, I lash out with my knife the instant she vanishes from sight. Its point skitters off her shapely nose. As I feared, without the lines of death, I can't even scratch her. She's tough in her own right, but it's my own weakness that's the real problem. With Vlov's physical and magical capabilities, I have sent her reeling at least. She comes at me with an imperious overarm swing, wide open and purposely slow. It's obvious she's going easy on me, daring me to challenge her. I'd be crazy to stand here and keep trying to trade blows with Arcuade when I have no hope of landing one. Her bear's paw of a swing buffets the air in front of my face as I leap backwards. I blink in surprise. I only meant to hop back half a meter or so, but I've thrown myself about 5. It was me who wasn't giving her enough credit. That clumsy swipe wasn't meant to slash, but to launch. I realized this as I noticed a visible wall of wind closing in on me. It's the same manipulation of natural forces she used to decimate the undead. A whisper in the back of my mind remarks that without any magical defenses, I'll be wrung out like a wet rag. But the warning comes too late to make a difference. The impending shockwave fills my vision. It'll catch me if I try to dodge backwards or sideways. There's only one way out, up. As soon as the thought forms, my legs propel me into the air. I cry out in surprise. Unexpectedly high doesn't even begin to describe it. I can see the entire fountain square below me. I might have jumped at least 10 meters straight up.
いや吸血鬼すごいな。
でしょ?
A voice comes from above. I'm not even gonna give a chance to be startled. A brutal punch sends me crashing back to earth. Playtime's over, Arcuade seems to say as she plants a haymaker square in my chest. My back smacks hard against the ground. Arcuade isn't even close to being done with her punching bag. She follows up with a series of even weightier blows. 1 strike, 2 strikes, 3 strikes, and 4. By the time the 5th comes around, I have nothing left to block with. Well, of course, it was stupid to expect otherwise. I couldn't fend off this dizzying flurry in 1,000 years, even without the damage I took from the fall. Despite her breezy tone, Arcuade was as earnest as I've ever seen her. That was a heartfelt request. Ever since she first showed herself, she was bracing herself for how I might respond. I misjudged my own abilities and underestimated how much this mattered to her. Against this vampire prince's naked sincerity, my half-baked cluelessness never stood a chance. The back of my head cracks against a paving stone. Arcuade's weight presses down on my shoulder. It's over. Checkmate. She's bowled me over and pinned me down before I could even react. Arcuade stares down at me wordlessly. It's over. Dislodging someone of the same body mass who's straddling you is next to impossible. Not that I have a hope in hell of overpowering her anyway. Now she just has to reach out with her claws and crush my head like a grape. But the end doesn't come. She has Ro at her mercy, me at her mercy, but she just keeps going. The silence grows maddening, like a thread stretched taut like a pallid moon. I swallow unconsciously. She's so close. I can't tell where her breathing ends and mine begins. We're close enough to embrace, yet as far from each other as the earth and the moon.
なんだよ。もういいだろ。人思いに始末しろよ。殺した後で血を吸って、ゾンビにでも何でもしろ。
Better than the pain of seeing her like this.
命乞いはしないの。宣言撤回とかまだ受け付けてもいいんだけど、殺したら血を吸うしかなくなるわ。あなたが自分から私と契約するのなら血のやり取りなんてしなくて済む。
そっか。血を吸うのが怖いんだっけ、お前。それはいいけどさ、俺がお前に従うと仮定して、ロアをどうするつもりなんだ。お前は俺を殺さないって言うけど、俺が生きている限り、ロアは生き続けるんだぞ。
希薄になったロアは放っておいても構わないわ。そうね。だからあなたを見逃してあげてもよかった。
なんだ。遠慮しないで見逃せよ。俺なんかに構ってないでさ。早く故郷に帰ってパパを安心させてやれ。
でもね、もともと自分の力なんだから取り戻そうとするのは当然でしょ。それに何より
She shifts on top of me. The weight on my shoulders increases.
私はあなたを殺してロバを眠らせるよりこのまま死期を取り込みたい。殺して亡くしてしまうよりもっと一緒に過ごしたい。
That's why I won't kill you, her crimson eyes beg.
信じられないけど私はあなたが好き、大好きだから助けてあげる。血も吸わないし死期の嫌がることは決してしない。
Just do what I say, her crimson eyes plead. There is no question that these are her true feelings. Arcoade wouldn't lie. She's too pure a creature for that, too honest. So she deserves an honest answer. Okay, so yeah, I guess we'll take a break here as we had choices again. But yeah, Arcoade episode today. She showed up. CL is not here. I wonder what's gonna happen, right? Maybe CL is gonna come out when we choose one of these choices. But we're gonna find out. So yeah, like she doesn't want to kill Shiki in general. Like she just wants Shiki to be her servant. But yeah, I don't want it though. Like come on. But we'll see. So anyways, we are gonna continue this and do more of Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon in the next one. So I'll just see you then. Bye bye.